Hello people, it's your boy Usman back again with another video. Manchester United unfortunately drew 2-2 against Stoke City. Absolutely devastated with the result. Obviously we needed to continue the winning mentality and momentum. However, it wasn't to be. Like I said in my preview, it's not the easiest fixture away to home at Stoke. Could you do it a cold night? And unfortunately we could not hold on on a cold night in Stoke. Just to quickly go over the sort of team selection first and foremost. I did say in my preview, Jose has got a couple of options. There's an opportunity. There's a potential that we might become a bit predictable. I'm assuming Jose thought the same. Two changes from the regular sort of lineup. Basically, Rashford coming, well, three changes actually. Rashford coming back in for Martial, Herrera coming in for Mata, which I said which changes to a 4-3-3, and Darmian coming in for Blind. Did that really work out? No, it absolutely did not. Absolutely did not. It massively sort of failed, so to speak, for numerous reasons. First and foremost, playing the 4-3-3, which was something that we played a lot last season. It was just very reminiscent of last season's performance. Very slow on the ball, moving the ball slowly through the thirds. It was getting to the middle of the park and not much was happening. I just felt this system in general did not work, unfortunately, against Stoke. I just don't think it brought the best out of certain individuals on the pitch. One being that man Mkhitaryan. For me, he's been absolutely phenomenal thus far in the season. In the number 10 role, I just think he thrives in the number 10 role. I just think you have to play Mkhitaryan in number 10 to get the best out of him. And unfortunately, on the wing, very similar to what last season, what he did consistently was ghosting in and out of the games. Yes, I understand he got the assist for the second goal for Lukaku. We'll touch upon that a bit later on. However, his overall play wasn't to the standard that he's been so far in this season. That has to come down to the system. Also, Herrera coming in for Mata, something that I did say in the preview is an option. It massively backfired. I'm not going to have a pop at Herrera in too much. I just feel a bit bad for him. I know a lot of people are having a go at him. Me personally want him subbed off at half-time as well, only because you could tell it was his first game back this season. He looked really far off the pace. He just looked a bit short of ideas. There's a couple of balls he played well in behind for obviously Lukaku to run to, but overall his overall play was just, it was just off the pace, and let's be honest, he just wasn't much fit, or the sharpness wasn't there for him. You can tell it was his first game this season, so that's why I'm giving him benefit of doubt. Last season, a lot of us were praising Herrera consistently, so I just think people need to chill the hell out. People are getting too carried away. It was one game, yes, he wasn't fantastic, but like I said, it's his first proper game back. He's not played for Spain as well, so it's understandable that he's off the pace. It's not his fault. It's just one of those things that with time we will obviously get back there, and hopefully we'll be playing against Basel to, get a bit of match speed up. Other person, Darmian, for me, he was the worst player on the pitch. Again, I've said on numerous occasions that I actually like Darmian in our squad. I think he's a good utility player. However, he really, oh God, I can't even defend him. I've been defending him a lot. A lot of people have been slagging him off, saying he's not good enough. And if I was just basing on that performance, it's an absolute disgrace of a performance. I know it's a bit harsh, but he's out of position for so many of the flipping chances that they created. A couple of the goals were come down from his side. I know one was a corner, but just the overall sort of play from Stoke was coming from Darmian's side. He just caught out position a lot. Going forward, he's poor as well. I can't really say anything positive about his performance. In fact, no, I can actually. He actually created the second goal by winning the ball far up the pitch, so fair play to him. And also there was one very good interception that he did when I think it was Jesse or Hesse. It was played in behind Joe Allen, I think, passed it to him. It was in second half, and Darmian came and recovered really well. So there's a couple of decent sort of moments for him, but overall he was just caught out position again. It might come down to a lack of game time. We did see him against play for Italy, and he was absolutely shocking there as well. I just think he's a better right back than left back, but can't displace Valencia on that right wing back or whatever. Anyways, and other sort of change was Rashford for Martial again. I think this one was alright, actually, to be fair. I think Rashford had a very good game. He was, running the channels consistently throughout the flipping game. It's just one of those days, it just didn't come off for him. But yeah, just to recap on the whole game in general. Very slow in the middle of the park. Like I said, pedestrian at times. A lot of similar patterns of play to last season. Herrera getting the ball. He looked like he was out of ideas consistently. Pogba, for me, didn't really get involved in the game as much as I wanted him. He didn't really get the opportunity to get on the ball, and every time he did, for me personally, it was way too deep. I wanted him a bit further up the field, because we've seen so far when he's had a bit of free reign, how much sort of danger he can cause to the opposition defence. And for me personally, I just don't think he was, he just wasn't provided with that sort of luxury to actually go forward consistently. I don't know why he just kept coming too deep. I don't know if that's something to do with Jose's tactics, or if that was something to do with Pogba trying to get involved with the game, because he wasn't getting the ball where he normally does in the middle of the park. So he was just dropping and collecting from the defenders, which is why I don't want to see Pogba. I just don't see why he's doing that. Matic can do that all day long. Regarding the game itself, you know, for me personally, I don't want to get too carried away. Like I said, it's not an easy game to go away to Stoke. I was disappointed, of course I was. But if I'm being honest, a 2-2 draw was a very fair result because we just didn't play good enough, in my personal opinion. We were okay going forward because Lukaku and Rashford provided us a lot of movement in and around their defence, in and behind, should I say. Their line was ridiculously high, which was something I was really surprised about, that they were willing to obviously risk it. So fair play to them for actually, you know, trying that against us. In this case, it did actually pay off for them. But we did get in behind on numerous occasions with Rashford in particular. Just unfortunate on this occasion we didn't actually make the most of them opportunities. Again, I can't really be too harsh on Rashford and Lukaku in particular because I actually thought they had a good game. For me personally, the game was lost in the midfield. Well, not midfield, sorry. It was lost in the defence actually, but the midfield really didn't help at all because for me personally, the ball wasn't moved quick enough from the midfield. If we had a bit more pace of movement with the ball, I think we would have had a more success of actually causing them a bit of danger because, like I said, the line was ridiculously high. So if we actually hit the ball in behind consistently quicker to Rashford and Lukaku, who seemed like they were actually up to, you know, running behind and explore that space, we would have had more success. It was just taking too long, and obviously if you take too long to pass the ball in behind, the defender is going to clock on either what you're doing or it's going to give an opportunity to regroup and just double up on Lukaku. A couple of other things that I noticed was when Lukaku or Rashford were getting in behind, there was no support whatsoever. So for example, if Lukaku, who was doing it a lot during the game, was running the right channel, when he would get the ball in behind, he'd obviously hold it off for somebody to come in. There was literally no one coming basically. Mkhitaryan didn't really get involved that much in the game from the wing. Pogba didn't really get up there in time, and then Rashford couldn't really support him on that left wing either. So that was the growing sort of concern throughout the game. Like I said, there was a concern for me going into this game that we would become a bit predictable. I can't even get my words out. Would become a bit predictable, and that is exactly what happened, unfortunately. The patterns of play, like I said, were very similar to what happened last season. That's kind of why I felt that there was no success. But regardless of all that, you know, we kind of got unstuck by defence, which has been absolutely fantastic this season. A couple of mistakes by Bay, mistakes by Darmian and Jones. So 3 out of the back 4 for me, culpable for both the goals really. Bay culpable for the first goal because he was out of position when the ball got played across. So he played him onside basically, and then he was culpable because he didn't get in front of his man, or, you know, he got bullied, so to speak. Jones was also culpable for that because he took a risk, as he saw from the sort of analysis, took a risk to try to step up when he didn't need to, and then also he didn't get back in time to cover that front post. And then Darmian obviously culpable throughout the whole game, but for the goal as well, because he was just caught out of position. And that diagonal that we were playing across, is it Choupo-Moting who scored the goal? But the diagonal that was played across always on Darmian's side, basically the crossfield ball, that was getting in pretty much every time. Without fail, they were getting in behind us, and that was a growing concern throughout the whole game. And that just comes down to lack of positional stance really, if I'm being honest with you. Just a bit piss poor. Valencia as well was culpable on numerous occasions out of position, but luckily for him, he's got the pace and speed, so the pace and strength, should I say, to get back into position and, you know, rectify his lack of positional sense. But yeah, Darmian just wasn't good enough in that case. Obviously the ball got played across, Choupo-Moting, he taps it in, it's 1-0 to Stoke, and at this point we're finally behind. I'm thinking, not really sure what's going to happen here because we've been absolutely piss poor throughout the game. However, we actually showed a bit of character, instantly getting back in the game. A corner comes in, Matic flicks it on, it hits Pogba. Well, it's pretty much Pogba's goal, but it hits Rashford on the way in, and he kind of robs him off a goal. It thankfully went in, which made it 1-1 at the break. Prior to this, like I said, we were absolutely poor throughout the whole game, but in the first half in particular, we didn't really do much. Had a couple of opportunities running in behind, but however, we didn't really take those chances. Moving on into the second half, again, Stoke came out the better team, and for me personally, I just thought we looked very lethargic. You know, this happened last season basically. After the international break, the players just looked piss poor, I'm not going to lie. But like I said, I'm not going to get too carried away. Stoke's not an easy game away from home. However, the players just didn't look like they knew what they were doing, to be honest. It was just very slow and lethargic on the ball. Not much options in and around the midfield. The defence, again, just bloody capitulating at every opportunity that Stoke went forward. It looked like they were going to score. If not, something was going to happen because the defence just looked so flipping shaky. And obviously the second goal came from ourselves. Like I said, Darmian winning the ball very high up the field. Fair play to him. Only thing he really did well in the game. Played the ball to, I think it was Mkhitaryan in the middle of the park. We ran a couple of like 20 yards and so, and it was a very good reverse pass. You know, basically what Mkhitaryan's done all season into Lukaku, who had a shot 1-on-1. Very good save from the keeper. Very lucky to get the rebound, but we flip and take it. Lukaku making it 2-1 and continuing his fine form thus far, scoring pretty much every game he's played for us, which is obviously a good bonus for us. basically, what I took from this game, really, I'm not gonna lie, is the fact that Mkhitaryan, number 10, compared to the wing, is like night and day. In flipping number 10, he creates the opportunities. Yes, I understand he wasn't fantastic, but he basically set up the goal from number 10 position, because we subbed on Mata at this point for Herrera, and obviously we went back to the system we've been playing previously, and obviously Martial came back on for Rashford. So we just looked better in that system because Mkhitaryan was in number 10. Like I said, he just got the assist for Lukaku just a couple of minutes after. So for me personally, if you want to get the best out of Mkhitaryan, it's a no-brainer. Keep him in number 10. I understand why Jose played the 4-3-3. I probably would have done the same. However, on this occasion, it did not work. So hopefully he's learned from that lesson and obviously continues to play Mickey in number 10. Anyways, their second goal came 5 minutes after our second goal, which was absolutely piss poor. Honest to God, if I was De Gea, I would be absolutely fuming, but he didn't look that pissed off. De Gea makes an absolutely unreal save. Probably save us, well, it is save the season so far from Jesus or Jesse, man. Absolutely fantastic save. I don't know how he saved it. Near post, cat like flipping reflexes, just parries it over the bloody bar, don't he? There's me celebrating, thinking De Gea's an absolute G from the resulting corner, back post, as easier like Jones had an absolute mare, and it's 2-2. Choupo-Moting again with the second. Oh my God. What can I say? Defense is just so bad. But like I said, I can't be too overly critical because they've been fantastic this season so far. Everyone's going to have a bad game once in a while. You know, it could be ways. We could have lost 5-0 to Manchester City or 4-0 to Liverpool. You know, it's not end of the world. Yes, I understand we need to win the flipping game. But I just think it's a good opportunity for us to learn from the mistakes that we made, obviously. Defensive mistakes, just the frailties in general. But just going forward as well, I don't want us to be falling back into the same sort of patterns of play of last season. I did say in my preview, I'm a bit cautious going into this game because I feel like we're going to become a bit predictable. And I wasn't really blown away with some of the performance we had. And this kind of just illustrated to me that we're far from, you know, the final sort of piece or the finished article, so to speak. But I'm not getting carried away in that sense as well. We have been fantastic so far this season, and this would have been a classic Man United win under Fergie just to get it over the line, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. Stoke on the day can do a good job against anyone, and fair play to them. They were very resilient in the defence. Zuma for me was absolutely fantastic. For me personally, I'd rather have him in that team than Jones. I really don't understand why we didn't go for Zuma. I know it's a loan, but come the hell on, boys. He's way better than Jones. Let's make no mistake about it. Wimmer was good as well. It was a good team performance from their individuals, but regarding our own performance, there's a lot to learn. Yeah, like I said, we didn't lose the game. That's a bit for consolation. However, a bit disappointing in the manner in which we conceded both the goals, not just the second one, sorry. Yeah, overall, a lot to learn from Jose. Hopefully, he knows that Mkhitaryan's only position is number 10. I just want to see him go for it. You know what? Put Mickey 10, put Rashford right, put Martial left, Lukaku up top. Just flipping go for it and blow these mother-loving teams away. I can understand why he played Herrera, but it obviously didn't work. And Blind, for me, has to play the next game against Basel. We'll do a preview for that tomorrow, hoping that obviously we get off to the Champions League with a fantastic start. But that aside, it's been your boy Usman. I hope you've enjoyed my reaction to the game. As you can see, it's a bit subdued because obviously not really happy am I overall with the fact that we've drawn to Stoke, but it's better than it's better than not losing. Apart from that, drop a like, share, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe because man does make videos very regularly. Take care, enjoy the rest of the week, and like I said, the preview will be out tomorrow. Peace. Come on, United!